Hi, welcome to our HIIT class. So this is a class that's roughly around 15 to 20 minutes. It is high intensity interval training, so it means short bursts of really strong, powerful movements which makes you out of breath followed by a short rest. So the heart rate is constantly lifting up and then lowering back down. It's a really good way to burn fat and also to increase your cardiovascular fitness. We will be adding a few yoga moves into this just to really help tighten that core, so it will help with yoga practice as well and increase fitness. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a little warm up. So taking the feet hip distance apart, we're going to start by squatting. So just lowering down, making sure you're pressing into the heels of the feet and that the knees aren't in front of the feet. Lifting back up, 5 more of these, squatting down, 2, 3, 4, 5, lifting back up, squatting down. We're going to pulse here for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting back up. I just want you to slightly start running on the spot, so not really big bursts of runs. As you can see here, I don't have any trainers on, so it's not going to be super intense. And then just begin to lift the feet up to the heels so you can really feel it in the quads. Remembering to breathe, keeping the shoulders relaxed, squeezing the core. And then taking the feet hip distance again, and then lowering down for 5, lifting back up, 2, 3, 4, 5, amazing, dropping down, pulsing here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lifting back up, just running on the spot. Remembering to breathe. And then stop. We're going to lift the right leg up, knee towards the stomach. Really want you to squeeze the core here and then just twist over to the right and lower back down, opening up these hips. 3 more. You should begin to feel warm. 3, and then changing to the left, spinning the leg round to the left and back down, really opening up the hips. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. We're going to lower down into a squat, come into a plank position. So it is a burpee, but it's a walkout burpee. So we're going to squat down, take the hands down to the floor, really engaging the core, walking back in, lifting up. 3 more of these, squatting down, taking the hands down, stepping back in, lifting up. 2 more, squat, walking out, engaging the core, walking back in, lifting up. 1 more, squatting down, taking the feet wide, taking the feet in, and back up. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to introduce the moves. We've got 5 movements, a little bit similar to what we've done today, just to ease into our HIIT workouts. So you will find a range of these classes on the website. But if you start with something like this, then you've got moderations, and you also know what a HIIT class is like if you've not done it before. Okay, so the first one is, we're going to do our squat again. So you're going to squat down. I want you to tap the right foot, take the hands to prayer, lift back up, change sides. Take the right hand to the left foot, take the hands to prayer, coming back up. We'll do 45 seconds of that with a 5 seconds rest. The next one we're going to do is our walkout burpee. So taking the squat position, taking the hands down, taking the feet wide, walking the feet back in, and coming back up to standing. If you want a more intense version, you can squat down, jump back in, and jump up. So it's completely up to you, listening to the body, making sure that you're doing what's right for you today. The next one we're going to do is we're going to lower down onto the floor. Now, we're going to do some mountain climbers. So you've got a couple of variations here. Now I want you to make sure that the glutes are lowered, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the core, the hands are underneath the shoulders, and you're going to bring the knee in towards the chest, Option 1 is slow mountain climbers, making sure the hips don't lift up as you're doing this. Really squeeze the glutes. If you have just started doing these, you can come down onto the knees. Just make sure that you can really feel it in the core. So you don't want to be leaning back too much. You want to make sure that the stomach's engaged. And again, making sure the hands are underneath the shoulders, lifting the knee in towards the chest. If you want a really intense version, taking the knees in towards the chest quickly. So that's our third one. Option 4 is standing at the side of the mat. You're going to move to the right, touch the floor, lift up, move to the left, touch the floor, lift up, right, touch, left, touch. And then our final option is bringing the feet in towards the glutes. A favourite for everybody that does yoga, we're going to do bridge, but this time we're going to lift up, lift down, lift up, lift the right leg up, in, down, up, left, in, down. So right and then left. We are going to do this 4 times through, so if you do feel more comfortable just using the right leg and then swapping and using the left leg on the next one, that's completely up to you. So yeah, just make sure that the glutes, you're squeezing the glutes, you're squeezing the thighs, you're squeezing the knees in on that one, okay? So I'm just going to set the timer. So that's 5 movements. "45 seconds on, with a 5-second rest in between." Okay, counting down. So the first one was the squat, taking the feet hip distance, and got so lowering down, tap, in, up, down, tap, in, up. Make sure you're really tucking that tailbone in, you're squeezing the core, pressing into the heels of the feet. Remembering to breathe. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs. It's that control, that balance that we also want. Okay, and then the next one is our burpee. So squatting down, option to step. If not, squat down, jump back, in, jump. Squat down, back, in, jump. Squat down, back, in, jump. Remember, if it's easier to walk the feet out and walk them back in, that is also an option. Make sure you're doing what's best for you. Squeezing the core. Okay, and the next one, coming down, doing our mountain climbers. Squeezing the core. Remembering to breathe. We're nearly there. It is tough. Making sure to keep the shoulders above the hands and really bringing that knee in towards the chest. Just checking in with the hips. Brilliant. Standing to the side. Option to walk. We'll do it quite quickly. So option 1, walk, tap. Option 2, increase the intensity. Engaging the core. Only got one more after this. Remembering to breathe. pressing into the heels, squeezing that pelvic floor, squeezing the belly button in towards the spine. One more. Lying down on the back, bringing the feet in, and our bridge, lifting up and down for one. Up, right, squeeze the core, and swap sides. Squeeze the knees in. Squeeze the glutes for that stability. Amazing, so you should be feeling warm. Grab a drink, take a breather. We're going to be here for about 45 seconds and then we'll go again. Just allowing that heart rate to settle. And really checking in with how you're feeling. So if this is new, you don't want to overdo it. Spiking the heart rate and then lowering back down can make you feel a little bit queasy. So just coming in to the modifications, if that's what's right for you, and then trying again next week and the week after, and trying some of the yoga and some of the other HIIT, and monitoring, because you'll really be surprised at how far you come if you really stick with this. Okay, so about another 10 seconds, and then back into it, starting with the squats. Counting down, 7 seconds. Okay, so squatting down, tap, squeeze the core, squat down, tap. Working into the sides as well, with control. Feel the burn. Even if you can only manage a squat, you're turning up. And that's what matters. Perfect, coming into them burpees. Getting ready at the side. Squatting down, feet out, back in, jump. Modification, walking out, walking back in, up, making sure to change feet each time. Jumping back into that squat, engaging the abs. You need to take a second to catch the breath. Take a second coming down. Getting ready for our mountain climbers. Pushing through it. Keeping the hips low. Try not to come up here. You need to be on the knees, taking that option. Four, three, two, one. Standing up, going to the edge of the mat. Getting ready. And tap. You need to step this, making sure you've got the correct form, you're not causing injury. Listening to you. Keeping that heart rate spiked. We're nearly there. Remembering to breathe. Squeeze the core. Coming down onto the back. Getting ready for a bridge. Lifting up and back down just to make sure you're in the correct form. And right, left. Really engaging the core, the thighs, the glutes, to make sure the hips are still in line. Remembering to breathe. Using this as a way to steady the breath. Amazing. Take a drink. We've got about 40 seconds until we go again, and we're halfway through. That only happens 2 more times, and if you need to drop it down a peg or take it up, if you don't feel like you look like me and you could maybe go a little bit more intense, then do that. Even if it's just for one move, one round, and see how you feel. You'll notice the sweat and the breath. About 20 more seconds, and then getting ready to go into our squat again. Whew. Even standing, I'm tucking my tailbone under so it's not out, it's in. I'm squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes, just getting into that habit, into that mindset. 9 seconds, 7, feet hip distance, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Tapping, and back up. Tap, and back up. Tap, up, down. Squeeze that core, squeeze the glutes, the thighs, pressing into the heels. Keeping the chest lifted, super important. You don't want to be rounding into the back, causing any injuries, and taking that pressure out of the legs. It's hard on the legs. Amazing, standing at the top of the mat, getting ready for our burpees. Our squat burpees, so squatting in, hands down, jump back it, and option, walking out, back in, up, squat down, right leg this time, back in, and up, or challenge. Either way, it's tough. Really working the core, the shoulders, the legs. That's why they're so nasty. Walking back in, coming down, ready for our mountain climbers. These are my least favourite, but they work. Over halfway. Squeezing the core. And up, edge of the mat. Get ready. And the side. Try and alternate hands. She says, when she's still back with the same one. It's so difficult sometimes to concentrate. Press into the heels, keeping the chest lifted. Down onto the back. Lifting up and down, make sure the form's correct. Up, right, in, down. Squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes, the core. Grab a drink if you need to. Using this is just some time to bring that heart rate down. Whew. About 35 seconds left. One more time. About 20 seconds. And starting now. 7, 6, taking the feet hip distance. One more time, we can do this, come on. And go squat, tap, and in. Squat, up, down. Really squeeze this core. Notice it on that twist. I can really feel it. Especially when you come back up. Make sure that tailbone's tucked. You're almost thrusting forward with the glutes and the hips. You should really start to feel the legs now. Okay, standing at the top of the mat. One more lot of mountain climbers, burpees. And back up, jump. Squatting down. Option, taking the feet out. If you do this, making sure the hips remain low. If you have a mirror, one more after this. Amazing, coming down. Oh, my least favourite. And mountain climbers. The last ones. We've got this. These are tough. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. You can do anything for 8. My shoulders come into the edge of the mat. And get ready, side tap. Pressing into the heels, keep the chest up. Squeeze that core. looking forward to doing these in Central America, but I will. Nearly there. Coming down onto the back. The last one. Bringing feet in, lifting up and down. Up, right, in, down. Squeeze everything. Down, up. Let's go. Oh, amazing. Just taking a few seconds here. If you do need to go and get a drink, go and get a drink. And I just want you to bring the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a big hug and just begin to round the spine. So making circles, massaging out the spine, and then changing direction. And then slowly begin to rock backwards and forwards until you come into a seated position. Then just going to come into a tabletop position. So making sure the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. We're going to do 5 rounds of cat-cow. So when we do cat, when we do cow, we're opening up the chest. So deep inhale, we're going to push the chest forward, pull the shoulders back, and this tailbone's going to reach up towards the ceiling. So you're really opening up the chest to take a deep breath. And as we exhale, we're going to round the spine in the opposite direction. So we're going to tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin in towards the chest, really press into the hands, and look like an angry cat. We're going to arch the spine in the opposite direction. 4 more of these. Inhale, push the chest forward, pull the shoulders back, tailbone up. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 3. Exhale. Inhale 1 more. Exhale. And then we're going to slowly bring our right foot in between the 2 hands. So if you need to do this in baby steps, take baby steps to get that right foot in between the 2 hands at the front, making sure that the foot's underneath the knee. It doesn't need to be, but it's just a really good habit to get into, taking that foot underneath the knee, especially in yoga as you begin to do some of the high lunges as well. And then just squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes. Begin to rock forward and back. Remembering to breathe, really slowing down the breath. You want to slow down the movement. It helps you find that calm in the breathing and slowing down the movement. One more. And then pressing into the heel of the feet, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the glutes. I want you to lift up and take the hands to the hips. And you're just going to press into this front heel, squeezing the glutes together, and you'll feel a stretch on this left psoas muscle. Amazing, taking the hands back down to the mat. Begin to straighten this right leg, taking it forward. If you need to take some blocks or a cushion to the side, then please do. And just begin to lower the belly down towards the foot, making sure the left hip is still pulling towards the left so that the hips are square. Feeling that stretch in the back of the hamstring. Amazing. Coming forward, we're going to take that right foot back and change that. We're going to bring the left foot in between the 2 hands at the front. Begin to rock forward and back. Again, slowing down the breath, squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes. Going at your own pace here. And then squeezing the thighs and glutes, lifting up, taking the hands to the hips if you can, and pressing in to that left heel. So you can feel the stretch on the psoas muscle on the right hip. And breathing into this. And then slowly taking the hands down, straightening into this left leg, twisting the hips to the right. If you need to take a block, and then just lowering down. Belly towards the thigh, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Amazing. And then just slowly taking the knees wide, taking the hips back, and just lowering the head down. Taking 5 deep breaths here. Two more breaths. And then gaze towards the front, walking the hands back. And well done. You've just completed that HIIT class, our first HIIT class on the website. You don't need to start with this, but I would love any feedback, and yeah, have a great day. Thank you.